Alright, so let's look at some of the cool spicy decks from the past week that had success either in tournament, by reaching King Games, or by going on a win streak at the King Games or Legend level. Starting off, we have an Infernity deck that's using some really cool combos here with Garbage Lord, Downbeat, and their skill Fleeting Hand. So Garbage Lord is a really simple card. You just pay 2,000 life points and you get a special summon it to your field. It's a level 5 Dark Fiend type monster that is going to be relevant for Downbeat, but paying the 2,000 life points immediately allows you to trigger your skill Fleeting Hand. You have to have 2,000 less life points than your opponent does, and then you get a return 1 to 3 cards from your hand to the deck, and you get an effect depending on which one you do. So I think generally here we're using the 2 effects, so we can play an Infernity Necromancer from outside of our deck to the field. So you get the Necromancer to the field, you'll have a Garbage Lord on your board, and then if you have Downbeat in your hand, you can tribute off the Garbage Lord because it's a Fiend and Dark attribute. You then get to summon another monster of the same type and attribute, and you can bring out the Infernity Archfiend. They both fit, and Archfiend will then get a triggered skill. You get to search your deck for a Infernity card and go forward with your Infernity combos and do everything that you would usually do with them. So really neat that we have an alternate way to sort of get to our combo here that we don't usually have. But we also have some other really cool things we can do with Downbeat and Transmodify, right? We can Tour Guide, bring out the Sandgin, and then Transmodify to bring out Archfiend. We also use Downbeat on the Sandgin, bring out the Infernity Sage. In both cases, we'll get the search off for the Sandgin. So a lot of just really neat combos you can do with this set of cards here. Just interesting to see people continuing to find new ways and improve ways to for their Infernity combos and do some pretty crazy things with it. Next up, we have another win streak deck. Now, this is one of the most disgusting decks I've ever seen. This is a hand-ripping Fortune Lady deck that can literally rip all four cards out of your hand before you even get the chance to play the game, and then use Life Force Sword to take the 5th and final card when you draw for turn. It is absolutely disgusting. So we're doing this with Blackluster Soldier, Envoy of the Evening Twilight, one of the less popular Blackluster Soldier or Chaos monsters. You got to have an equal number of Light and Darks in your graveyard, and then you get to banish all of one of those attributes. But it has an effect that says you can banish one random card from your opponent's hand face down until your opponent's next end phase. So if you can summon out all 3 of these and bring out the Appointer of the Red Lotus, you can rip all 4 cards out of your opponent's hand. And that is theoretically possible with this deck because of the Fortune's Future. This card is a Pot of Greed for the Fortune Lady deck. Target a banished Fortune Lady monster, return it to the graveyard, and then you get to draw 2 cards. So not only does it act as a Pot of Greed, letting you draw 2, but also it's going to put your Fortune Ladies back into your graveyard, so you can banish them again to summon a new Blackluster Soldier monster to the board. So it is possible to summon 3 BLS, a Pointer, rip all 4 cards out of your hands, and have the Light Force Sword set to banish another card from your opponent's hand. Don't forget, we also have the draw 2 with the Fortune Lady Water. If you special summon this with a Fortune Lady monster, you get to draw 2 cards as well. So we have multiple draw cards in this deck. Plus we have the Advanced Draw, tribute to level 8 to draw 2 cards. You can tribute off the BLS and draw more with it. We also have the Mouth to try to fix our hand if we don't get our combos. So just really disgusting deck we're able to do with this. Congratulations on creating the most evil deck of the year. Next up, we have a Rose Dragon Tenyi deck. Now, no surprise that we're seeing Tenyi being mixed with other decks, right? We see this in the TCG and in Master Duel. Tenyi is mixed with Sword Soul most commonly, but people find ways to mix it in with other decks and do cool combos with it. And it actually makes sense here with Rose Dragon, right? Rose Dragon is a synchro deck, so it does kind of just go along with it from that perspective. But also, in order to get your Tenyis on the board, you have to have no effect monsters on your field. And Black Rose obviously is a great way to do that, right? If you nuke the board and blow up everything on the field, you're not going to have any effect monsters on the board, so you clear the way for your Tenyis to come through and try to finish out the game by doing enough closing damage. So really neat deck here, seeing these two combined. This one actually got top 4 in Evil League, piloted by Elsuni. We've seen his decks on here a few times for M2S teammate, so congratulations on him. We also got room for plenty of back row cards in this deck too, is another thing I always like to see. Whenever you have a deck like this, the ability to play those spell and trap cards to protect yourself too. So a lot of cool things we're able to do with the Rose Dragon Tenyi deck. Another deck that we're able to do a lot of really cool things with, we have a Utopia Rabbit deck is what this is being called here. So if you haven't seen the new Order of Chaos and V Salamander skill, I've definitely seen quite a few players trying this with a lot of different ideas, right? So Order of Chaos does a few different things, but basically it restricts you to Utopia monsters or level 4s in rank 4, so which is okay because we have such a wide variety of level 4s and rank 4s currently out in the game right now. And Order Chaos, again, does a number of different things. So you can be able to normal summon your Salamander with it in order to get the additional normal summon for the turn. Salamander's going to let you bring back your Utopia monsters from the graveyard and forward, put forward all your combos and help you establish your board. But Order of Chaos, your skill can also be used to set the rank up magic card straight to your field. The Barrier's Force rank up card is going to allow you to go into your C39 Utopia Ray, which can blow up cards on your opponent's side of the board. And then when you combine that with your ZWs, which can protect it, and the ability to use your Dino Rabbit, your Rescue Rabbit monsters, to go into the Evolzer Logia, which acts as a Solemn Judgment on legs, that's a really intimidating board, right? The ability, having a Utopia Ray, Logia on the field together is really difficult for a lot of decks to get by, and if you're able to have like a Book of Moon or something else to protect too alongside of it, they're really or Lancia here in this case, players using this to help like counter all the Orcus decks out there. It's just a really intimidating board to try to fight through, right? So I'm really glad to see that skills like this come out, Order Chaos, that you can play with so many different decks and so many different engines to try to utilize it. And I'm sure that we're gonna, over the course of the next few months, we do this every week here, the Spicy Decks of the Week. I'm pretty sure we're gonna see this over the following months and years. Plenty of decks utilizing this skill, and several appearances on this segment with people trying to find different engines to utilize with it. So really cool to see that. Anyways, that's it for this week's Spicy Decks of the Week. If you do like the episode, please be sure to like and subscribe. It does help with the channel. Thank you so much for the support, and you guys have a wonderful rest of the day.